Hello and welcome to Casual Retro Gamer, where today I want to do something different. Today I want to talk about a current hot topic in the retro gaming world. Today I want to talk about ROMs. So guys, as we all know, Emu Paradise has recently removed all of its ROMs. And that's due to Nintendo taking action against two other sites, Love Retro and Love ROMs. I personally have never used those sites. In fact, I'd never even heard of those sites before researching for this. But Emu Paradise, I would have used. I still do use it. And despite the fact that ROMs are gone, I still frequently browse through the lists of games, looking inspiration for something new to play, something I haven't tried. For that retro game that, hey, that looks fun, must try it sometime. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say, retro gaming, fantastic hobby. But what is it that I love about retro gaming? For me, it's being able to go back and relive those moments of gaming history. Being able to go back and play those games that we could only read about in magazines. Games were expensive and most of us relied on Christmas, or birthdays, or part-time jobs even to feed our gaming habit. The world of emulation rose for me during the 90s and early noughties. In fact, let me tell you a quick story. I remember reading in a magazine article about being able to play an Amiga game on a PC. I couldn't wait. Imagine being able to run all my favourite old games on our new PC. I had to ask a friend to download the emulator for me. We didn't have internet at home. But imagine my great disappointment. I stuck the emulator into my PC, dug out my copy of Frontier on the Amiga, one of my favourite games, put that in the floppy drive on the PC. Nothing happened. I was missing a part of the puzzle. A few years later in college, a group of us friends learned of SNES and Mega Drive emulators. But how do you insert a cartridge game into a PC? Where does the cartridge go? Okay, I could stick the Amiga floppy disk into the PC's floppy drive. Yes, it didn't work, but I put that down to bad software. Where do I put this Mega Drive cartridge? Surely I don't stick it into a PCI slot. Disclaimer time, do not try that. What was I missing? I was missing ROMs. So suddenly a door opens. A door to a world where you can play any game for free. This was also during the time of the whole Napster thing, remember that? And despite what some people say, there really can be no doubt as to the legality of ROMs. But I would argue perhaps times have changed. The world has changed its method of distribution of media. ROMs have since changed for me. It's no longer about trying to download a copy of every single game for every single system. I have no interest in that anymore. Yeah, during tech days it was fun to see how many you could download in a single day or whatever. It was fun to try and push our hardware at the time to play the N64 games, for example. I can remember actually trying to overclock my own PC to get an extra couple FPS out of Mario 64. But nowadays, I use ROMs mainly to access those games that I otherwise cannot play. I'm not just talking about ROM hacks or fan translations, but those rare games, those ultra rare games that sell for hundreds of pounds. How else am I meant to play them? Personally, I could not afford this hobby without ROMs. All of these games are no longer available from the original source, and I for one will not line the pockets of so-called resellers that are just out to make a quick profit at the expense of our hobby. I can understand that some games are rare and more valuable, but I do find it hard to agree that some games are worth what some people are asking. I suppose there are those that would compare ROMs to copying music or copying films, but is that actually accurate? You see, you'll struggle to find a song or a film from any point in the last, say, 30 years that you cannot buy today online. You will struggle to find a SNES or a Master System cartridge. In fact, you will not find a new release of that media. Now again, you may argue that, well, you can't walk into a high street store and buy your favourite film on VHS or your favourite song on cassette. Those can only be bought now on DVD, Blu-ray or MP3. MP3. Started life mainly as a means to illegally copy music. MP3 players started life as cheap knockoffs to play illegally copied music on. Not now. Now MP3 is the main format to buy music on. Everyone's smartphone is fighting to be the main platform to play music on. So, ROMs? I am looking to Nintendo, to Sega, to Atari, to any of the software houses. Look at the history of media. In particular, look at the music industry. Do the same. We already have the emulators. We already have the flashcards. We just need the software. Take away the so-called greyness that everyone argues about. Bring the control and distribution of your games and your ROMs in-house. I propose you develop an app, a software package, to allow us to browse your back catalogue, to allow us to try those games freely. And then, if we make that decision, to allow us to buy that game for a reasonable sum of money, then we can use that ROM legally owned and play it on our emulators, or use flashcards and play it on the real hardware, or heck, even use your mini consoles to play it. Yes, there will always be those that would abuse a system such as this. There always is. But take away that ambiguity, take away that greyness, make the line clear, and I honestly think most of us will stand on your side of it. That's all I have to say on this subject, guys. I would really like to hear your view about this in the comments section. Am I right? Have you got another solution to it? Or is it all being blown way out of proportion at the minute and things will be back to usual in a couple of weeks? We'll be back to our usual game reviews next time. So that's it for now. My name's Glenn. This is Casual Retro Gamer. Thanks very much for listening, and I'll see you next time.